The storm has now arrived. Hey guys, it's Stormboy13. Got some news just to inform you. I'm not saying it will happen in a way, but there has been a lot of news going on in terms of when is the big one going to be hitting California in terms of earthquake activity. As we know, there has been tremors measuring up to 3 to 4, probably even 5, in particularly parts of central southern California. So, and the only reason why I'm mainly doing this video, even though it's not directly much to do with weather, I'll mention that at the end with one YouTuber, which it's not just like estimating and predicting weather, but something about the earthquake as well. You'll find out shortly. But anyways, the main article tonight, so really, is California about to be hit by the big one? So fears of a massive earthquake, rise after 134 mini tremors rattled the San Andreas Fault in just 1 week. So, yeah. The earthquakes, or tremors, have hammered a 3-mile stretch of the San Andreas Faults. So, basically, 17 was stronger than 2.5 magnitude, and 6 was stronger than 3. Okay, so I didn't say 4, I said 4, 5, wasn't that major yet. But it follows a string of 10 tremors that struck Monterey County last week. The largest, a 4.6 magnitude quake, was felt in San Francisco, 90 miles away. So, okay. So fresh fears have been raised that a huge earthquake is about to hit California after a swarm of recent tremors. In the last week, 134 earthquakes have hammered a 3-mile stretch around Monterey County on the San Andreas Fault. Of those earthquakes, 17 were stronger than 2.5, and 6 of them were stronger than a 3, with more tremors expected in the coming weeks, experts warn. It follows fears raised last week that a big one is about to hit after a series of 10 mini-quakes struck the same area. The swarm included a 4.6 magnitude quake that was felt in San Francisco, more than 90 miles, 145 kilometers away. So, this one has been quite a productive aftershock sequence, said Ol Caven, a US meteorological survey semiologist. So, the big one is a hemispherical earthquake of magnitude 8 or greater that is expected to happen along the San Andreas Fault. Such a quake is expected to produce devastation to human civilization within about 50 to 100 miles, 80 to 160 kilometers of the quake zone, especially in urban areas like Palm Springs, Los Angeles, and of course San Francisco. Contingency plans warn upwards of 14,000 people could die in worst-case scenarios, with 30,000 injured, thousands left homeless, and the region's economy set back for years, if not decades. So we expect there will be aftershocks in the 2 to 3 magnitude for at least a few more weeks, he said. There haven't been any reports of injuries, right, San Francisco news outlet SF Gates. Last week's swarm hit California's Monterey County on Monday, 11:31 a.m. Sector 4:31 p.m., around 30 miles, 20 kilometers northeast of Gonzales near Salinas. It dramatically increases the likelihood of a major quake in California, at least temporarily, experts claimed. The initial 4.6 magnitude quake was followed by 9 smaller aftershocks. The largest of these measured magnitude 2.8. Anne-Marie Molte, semiologist with Youth Meteorological Survey in Monterey Park, told SF Gates there were no reports of injuries or damage to any buildings. The quake had also happened at a depth of around 4 miles, 6.5 kilometers in the infamous San Francisco and in the San Andreas Fault, close to the region where the California Fault branches off. So experts have previously warned that any activity on the fault line is cause for concern. So anytime there is significant seismic activity in the vicinity of the San Andreas Faults, we seismologists get nervous. Thomas Jordan, director of the Southern California Earthquake Center, had told the LA Times last year what quake magnitudes mean. Below a 3 magnitude, earthquakes at this level are deemed level 1 in intensity. These are not felt except by very few under especially favourable conditions, according to the USGS. Magnitude 3 is 3.9. These quakes only felt by a few persons at rest, especially on upper floors of buildings or level 3, which carry vibrations similar to the passing of a truck. Then it gets interesting. Magnitude 4 to 4.9, these are widely felt but rarely cause serious damage. Magnitude 5 to 5.9, which we had one nearly 10 years ago, 5.2 in Lincolnshire magnitude. The USGCA says level 4 in intensity is where people start getting scared. By level 6, I believe, we start seeing considerable damage in poorly built or badly designed structures. Magnitude 6 to 6.9, these level quake can take down chimneys, factory stacks, columns, monuments and walls. Because we recognise that the probability of having a large earthquake goes up. Despite this, Ms. Molte said the recent earthquakes are part of normal seismic activity, and there were no suggestion the tremors were signs of larger activity to come. This is really typical behaviour, she said. Is if someone put an oil can into the folds and lubricated it. Fears of California's big one was stirred in May when an expert warned that a destructive and devastating earthquake will hit the state immensely. So earthquake warning, sismologist Lucy Jones from US Geological Survey warned she is trying to make people accept the fact catastrophic is immediate and they need to prepare themselves. Dr. Jones said our decision to not accept it will only mean more people suffer. Scientists warn the big one is now overdue to hit California. Dr. Jones, who was from the US Geological Survey, said there are 3 key reasons why the peril was so frightening. It cannot be seen, it is uncertain, and it seems unknowable. This means people bury their heads in the sand and pretend it won't happen. So, seismologist Dr. Lucy Jones from the US Geological Service, we know, had warned in a dramatic speech that people need to act to protect themselves rather than ignoring the threats. Dr. Jones said people's decision not to accept will only mean more suffer, as scientists warn the big one is now overdue to California. So in a keynote speech to a meeting of the Japan Geoscience Union American Geophysical Union, Dr. Jones had warned that the public are yet to accept the randomness of future earthquakes. So people tend to focus on earthquakes happening in the next 30 years, but they should be preparing now, she warned. Dr. Jones said there are 3 key reasons why the peril was so frightening. It cannot be seen, it's uncertain, it seems unknowable. This means people vote, yeah, we already read this bit. So we find patterns even when they're not real, Dr. Jones said. She tweeted on 23rd May, I'm not trying to terrify people, I'm trying to inspire action that will prevent our scenarios from coming true, so it's in our power to change. So California is at risk of a devastating megaquake. So a report from the US Geological Service warned the risk of a big one hitting California has increased dramatically. Researchers analysed the latest data from the state's complex system of active geological faults as well as new methods for translating these data into earthquake likelihoods. The estimate for the likelihood that California will experience a magnitude 8 or larger earthquake in the next 30 years has increased from around 4.7% to about 7%, they say. I know it might sound a huge difference, but in reality it is. We are fortunate that seismic activity in California has been relatively low over the past century, said Tom Gordon, director of the Southern California Earthquake Center and a co-author of the study. But we know that tectonic forces are continually tightening the springs of the San Andreas fault system, making big quakes inevitable. So, her team published a scenario of 7.8 earthquake on the San Andreas faults that could kill many people and even devastate up to 15,000 buildings. So in 2011, a magnitude 9 earthquake hit the east coast of Japan, killing around 20,000 people, but technically it wasn't the earthquake that caused the main damage, it was the tsunami. The city leaders ignored protocol, said to move to high ground and conducted the emergency meeting in City Hall, said Dr. Jones. So, when a tsunami poured over the seawall, they lost over 1,000 people, including most of their city governments. Plans for the big one. So, federal, states, and military officials have been working together to draft plans to be followed when the big one happens. The contingency plans reflect deep anxiety about the potential gravity of the looming disaster, upward of 14,000 people dead in the worst-case scenarios, 30,000 injured, thousands left homeless, and the region's economy set back for years, if not decades. So as a response, what plans envision is a deployment of civilian and military personnel and equipment that would eclipse the response to any natural disaster that has occurred so far in the US. So, the hunting photograph, well, I'll show you, I'll quickly show you. This is a photograph. Yeah, there you go. The haunting photograph shows people walking through rubble in San Francisco on the 18th of April 1906. Many people are worried that a city in LA, for example, would look like this again due to a massive quake. There would be waves of cargo planes, helicopters and ships, as well as tens of thousands of soldiers, emergency officials, monetary teams, police officers, firefighters, engineers, medical personnel and other specialists. The response will be orders to magnitude larger than Hurricane Katrina or Superstorm Sandy, said Elsie Kahn, Clayton Bourne of the Washington State Army National Guard. So that's the main news that's happening of California in terms of a megaquake prediction. And just before I close the video, this is why I did this video. It's from Frankie McDonald. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's a YouTuber who currently has, I believe he has 6 figures. I think he has at least over 100,000 subscribers. He does, he predicts, I'm subscribed to his channel, of course, obviously. He's been doing it for like 4, 5, maybe 6 years. He predicts like future severe weather events, you know, thunderstorms, snowfalls, even hurricanes. But he predicted there was going to be a huge earthquake, which obviously was going to be a potential impact in California. So Frankie had said it will do a ton of damage. Viral weather medium predicts a huge earthquake in California, measuring at least a 7 magnitude. So amateur weatherman and YouTube star Frankie McDonald anticipates California being hit by a massive earthquake anytime soon. So McDonald broadcasts his weather predictions from Nova Scotia in Canada. So he's known for his enthusiastic reports as well as his catchphrase, "Be prepared." There have been a number of earth tremors along, we know that, a 3-mile stretch of the San Andreas Fault in the past week, so some of this information may be a bit familiar. And this is quite interesting. An autistic weatherman from Canada is predicting California will be hit by a massive earthquake anytime soon. So in a video posted to YouTube, which he back on Tuesday, Frankie McDonald from Nova Scotia, who has currently 156,000 subscribers to his channel, predicted a quake will hit the Golden State in the coming weeks. So McDonald's video has gone viral since he posted it online with almost 10,000 views. So we know amateur weatherman, YouTube star Frankie McDonald anticipates California being hit by a massive earthquake anytime soon. I'm going to show you the video, but I'll type that up on a caption and then you can see it from there. I'll probably put a link on there as well, so you can see that from there. It's a 2-minute clip. He states that earthquakes are unpredictable, but urges Californians to be prepared. Now, I will be honest, I haven't seen the video yet, but I probably will do. A strong earthquake is on its way for California anytime soon, and it will bring 7 or greater magnitude, and it will do a ton of damage, he predicts. So California lies on the San Andreas Fault, and once the tectonic plates slip, it will cause a major earthquake and will bring down power lines, snapping telephone poles in half, and it will do some damage to buildings, McDonald exclaimed. So California and people in California, be prepared, have your medical kits, flashlights, emergency kits and bottled water ready. So during the earthquake, don't go underneath tables and chairs. Go underneath tables and chairs when you are outdoors. Don't go inside during the earthquake. It will be a very strong earthquake for California, especially on the San Andreas fault line, so he continued. So if you have anybody living in California, be prepared for strong earthquake anytime soon. Don't get caught in a powerful earthquake. Stay safe. Often known as Nova Scotia's amateur weatherman, McDonald has gained a massive following since he started posting weather videos, 6 years ago. So each video enthusiastically tells Nova Scotians and people across the country and the world to be prepared for incoming weather from hurricanes to blizzards, like I just said. So McDonald's rise to celebrity status began after he started uploading his videos to the Weather Network. His presence on the station's website introduced him to Canadians. Soon he became known for his entertaining style, passionate delivery, and relatively accurate weather forecasts. So McDonald researches first uses AccuWeather, the Weather Channel, and other websites, then makes a weathercast video for his YouTube channel. So he is known for his passionate, enthusiastic reports as well as his catchphrase, "Be prepared," gaining him international fame. So McDonald's rant may not totally profound, and last week 134 earthquakes have hammered a 3-mile stretch, we know that, around Montgomery County on the San Andreas Fault. So of those earthquakes, 17 are stronger, 2.5, 6 of them more than stronger than 3. We know that. So it follows this raised last week that a big one is about to hit after a series of 10 mini quakes struck the same area. So this is the same thing. So yeah. So that's all I just got to mention about. So Doesn't this is not to alarm you guys, especially those who live in California. But we know that apparently there's a thing that if California doesn't get hit by a severe quake in about 100 years, about a century, a big one could hit very soon then. So, but nothing to be alarmed at. I'm sure if you follow the right instructions, get some professional help from any like experts of earthquake activity, maybe scientists or stuff that may give you advice. I'm sure you'll be fine. It's just about staying safe. So this will be interesting. That's why I did it today, because of Frankie McDonald as well. So that's the end of this video. So quite a long one. So please give it a like, comment, subscribe, and plus subscribe to Frankie McDonald. And links on this video, so don't forget to check it out, and make sure you subscribe to him as well, of course. And yeah, if you want me to do any extreme UK weather events, global weather forecasting, or weather vlogging, comment below, and of course, check out his channel as well. He does awesome content. So yes, guys, give it a like, comment, subscribe. Storm is now out, and whatever will happen next.